she's definitely a player to watch. And another person that I highlighted in the starting lineups, Reese McDermott. How fantastic has she been for Colorado School of Mines? 5 goals so far. Second in the RMAC in shots, second in the RMAC in goals, and third in the RMAC in shots on goal. She's coming off a fantastic second team All-Region. She was also the RMAC Freshman of the Year and first team All-RMAC, as well as the Offensive Player of the Week last year. Well, they're going through the rest of the starting lineups here at Inter Bay Stadium. We're almost ready for the national anthem here in Seattle on a very, very hazy Seattle night. We'll be with you right after that national anthem finishes. So happy to have this game for you here on YouTube. Seattle Pacific University versus Colorado School of Mines. I'm Kyle Morrison. I'll be taking you the rest of the way. We'll now pause for the national anthem. So many SPU students, so many SPU fans here to try and cheer on what really is the best team on campus right now in the Seattle Pacific University Falcons. Sophie Beadle and Lauren Forster, I talked to them before the game, and they were telling me that they couldn't lie. They were a little bit nervous about this game, not used to playing in front of such a huge fan base at these games. Definitely something that Seattle Pacific is going to try to replicate as the season goes on, and why not? This is a squad that is absolutely box office. The Seattle Pacific University women's soccer program has a tradition of success, and last year they really were able to reiterate that tradition with a 19-2-1 season, winning the GNAC Tournament Championship, winning the GNAC Regular Season Championship, making it to the Elite Eight in the NCAA tournament, and there is so much confidence on this squad that they're going to be able to not only repeat what they did last year, but go even further as we go into this year. All right, the starters, they're getting set. We're almost ready for some soccer here on a hazy Friday night at Seattle Pacific University's Inter Bay Stadium. About 70 degrees out there at the start of game time. Wind is blowing towards the north here at Inter Bay Stadium, and we are ready to go. Lauren Forster with the ball. possession out there. They really do like to possess the ball longer than other teams, try to wear them down. It also gives their stellar defense a chance to play on fresh legs. Haven't quite gotten over the midway mark yet, and the ball's going to go out of bounds. So now Colorado School of Mines, they're going to get their first possession, and that's going to be a wild throw that's going to go over the end line, so SPU will immediately regain possession here. Mercedes Cullen, she's got the ball for a goal kick here from her. Just a freshman is Mercedes Cullen, but already leaving her mark on the league, already leaving her mark on the Seattle Pacific program. As SPU for her teammate Jacqueline Blakely, but it goes over the end line, and Colorado School of Mines will regain possession. So happy to have you with us here for some Seattle Pacific University women's soccer. Once again, I'm Kyle Morrison calling the game. 0-0, we're just getting started. About a minute and a half here into the festivities. And School of Mines will kick it in. Forrester there, a nice header trying to get the ball out of School of Mines' possession. And it's all kinds of chaos going on now. And it's going to end up with Sophie Beadle taking the fall, and now SPU finally regains possession. Lauren Snedeker with the ball. Gives it to Maya Parman. Parman over to Beadle. Beadle probing. They give it over to Banky. Banky on the right wing, and some nice defense there from Lauren Kligman. Defends Banky well there. That's a strategy that SPU is going to utilize throughout the game. They really like to have possession on the right or left wing and then kick it towards the center of the field, towards the penalty box, so that they can get easy headers or easy kick-ins for goals. SPU squad really values time of possession. They want to wear you down in all facets of the game as Lauren Snedeker kicks it in towards the middle. All kinds of chaos trying to get the ball here. And finally, possession will be established by SPU. Nyone with the ball. She kicks it back past the halfway mark to Aiken. Mackenzie Aiken with it. It's going to kick it into a slew of School of Mines defenders. And School of Mines just battling to try and get a solid possession. This SPU defense is absolutely swarming everything. And we're going to get a clear out here from the goalkeeper, Emma Karstens of School of Mines. Right now, early, the Orediggers having to fight for every single possession. A long, ill-advised pass there. Sophie Beadle with the interception. Beadle to kick to Banky. Banky down the right sideline to Blakely. Blakely back to Beadle. Beadle with the ball. Banky. And that one's going to go to Snedeker. So SPU, they're going to try to reconvene here. Try to get a good possession. And that ball goes out of bounds. As I mentioned, both of these teams coming off very successful 2021 campaign. Both these teams made it to the NCAA D2 tournament. SPU, of course, making it to the Elite Eight. They're hoping for even more success this year. National championship hosted here at Interbay Stadium. So, what a storybook that would be. Championship on their home grass, currently ranked number 17 in the nation. Still a long way to go. So still a long way to go before you can start thinking about that. Still very early in the season. We're still in the non-conference section of the season. Both of these teams contenders from two different conferences on the West Coast. SPU trying to get something going there, but intercepted by School of Mines. They're going to try and get something going on offense. It seems like every single time School of Mines gets something started, it gets almost immediately eliminated. Corbett had the ball. She kicks it up to her teammate Butler. Butler, the pass to Putnam. Putnam, she loses it over there on the left wing. So some nice defense there by Emmy Moore. She's going to point to her teammates and be the leader out there on the field. Laura Kligman looking to pass this one in. She gets it into Putnam. Kligman with the ball, kicks it across the grass. That one's up in the air after a header, and Marissa Banky's trying to track it down. She's got to contend with Laura Butler over there. She's able to find Snedeker. Snedeker, the give to Moore. They're trying to clear it out right now, SPU is. And Colorado School of Mines will regain the ball. Laura Kligman, she kicks it past the halfway mark. Inside here to Putnam. Putnam probing. And can't find anything. Emmy Moore really just putting her mark on this game so far. Is SPU trying to recollect themselves, trying to establish that time of possession that they talk so much about, being able to just tire out the legs of their competitors, something they really, really value. They're having a bit of a hard time here getting the ball over the midway line, and so they'll give it back to Cullen here, the decision maker. Just getting started here out at Inter Bay Stadium, 0-0, 38-48 on the clock. Marissa Banky to Sophie Beadle. Beadle trying to get something going, and she does. She beats two defenders. She's running down the right side. She's got a teammate on the right, and Blakely, she is tripped up. This SPU crowd hoping for a foul, and there's going to be a foul called there. It's going to be a foul on Sophie Beadle. So maybe a little bit of a frustration foul there for Beadle. Thought she was fouled earlier in that possession and ultimately trips a member of the Ore Diggers. So now we're going to see Jordan Barnhart with a free kick here, and she kicks it into a slew of SPU defenders. Heads up play there by Butler to get to the ball. She kicks it over to Putnam. Putnam is intercepted there by Parman. Parman, the give to Nyon. Nyon over to Forster. Talk about Lauren Forrester. What a year she had last year. Ended things as the GNAC Freshman of the Year. And it can be a little confusing. She's a junior this year, but because of the eligibility rule changes, because of COVID, was able to win that award as we get a whistle here. Looks like it's going to be a foul on Colorado School of Mines. So SPU will regain possession. Emmy Moore. She'll get things going here. 37-22 on the clock. Lauren Forster, her favorite soccer memory was actually in a first-round state tournament game at home when she was at Olympia High School. It was a 4-3 win over Eastlake High School. She said there was a dog pile on the field before the whistle blew, and the student section stormed the field. Gotta love it when a community really gets behind a team like that. Sophie Beadle with the ball just outside the penalty box. She's trying to make her man miss. She goes towards the right wing, and she is tripped up. Some hard-nosed defense there by Lauren Kligman. Sophie Beadle, not a stranger and not afraid of contact. She is someone who just plays absolutely hard-nosed, not afraid to take people on. Talked to her before the game, and she said that was just really a mindset that was instilled in her from the beginning of her athletic career. Why not just go after people? What makes anyone better than you? Is Blakely with the ball. She kicks it into Galehouse. Galehouse over to Beadle, and Beadle, she's got an open look on the right wing. Ultimately decided not to kick it towards the goal. So some good defense there from Jordan Barnhart of School of Mines. And so with 36:05 here on the clock, still 0-0, and Colorado School of Mines is going to try to get something going. Sophie Beadle, what an outstanding player she is, and she was awarded for it last year, getting an honorable mention, all GNAC, currently a junior on the SPU soccer team. Wants to practice sports broadcasting at some point when her soccer career comes to an end. Lauren Forrester streaking down the left side, looking for teammates. She kicks it towards the goal, and it's going to be deflected out by the Ore Diggers defense. Nyon with the ball now on the left side, just outside the penalty box. A header there. Puts the ball into the air, and then Sophie Beadle, she tried to clean things up, but to no avail. So SPU continuing to threaten constantly here on the Ore Digger side of things. Still 0-0 with 35-14 to go. And Sophie Beadle, she's someone who you can just talk about all night long. A fantastic player, has already scored a goal this year. He's played in all 3 games for SPU last year, played in 22 games for SPU, started all but one. Started 21, had 8 goals in that year last year. But the thing about Sophie Beadle that really, really endears her to me as a former cross-country runner and a former track and field guy is that she's just absolutely fantastic out on the course in cross-country. At Rainier High School, she qualified for the Washington Class 2B state cross-country meet. Marissa Benke down the right side with 2 defenders in front of her, and those 2 defenders might be too much, as Benke does a nice job recovering there, trying to break up any possible opportunity for School of Mines the other way. Right now, the Ore Diggers really on their heels. It's always tough as a road team, but even more tough when there's a packed house, and even more tough when you're used to playing at altitude. You have to remember this Colorado School of Mines team plays in Golden, Colorado, right on the bank of the Rocky Mountains, a beautiful town. But it can be tough when you have that built-in advantage against teams whenever they're coming to your building, to have to all of a sudden come to sea level, and it's hard to get more sea level than Seattle and play a great team here in SPU. But this is a School of Mines squad. Well, they're not going to be scared. They just came off of playing the number 3 team in the nation, Dallas Baptist University. They lost in the waning minutes of that one, 3-2. They gave Dallas Baptist all they could handle as Blakely kicks it towards the goal. It's going to be cleared out. Emmy Moore with the ball, closer to the midline. She kicks it over to Benke. Bit of a bad pass there, but Sophie Beadle's there to clean it up. She's trying to make her defender miss, and then it's going to be a nice little clear out there by Lauren Kligman. So SPU will maintain possession, something that SPU really, really tries to do all the time, is keep possession as much as possible. They want to tire out their opponent, and the way they do that is just by holding onto the ball. Lots of kicks, lots of passes. They want to play slow, methodical, and at their pace. Kick towards the middle of the field. Nyon, she's there to clean it up. She's running straight towards the goal. Tried for a kick there towards the goal. Ultimately was intercepted. And running straight down the field is Lauren Butler. She's got a clear line to the goalie unless someone defends her. And the kick towards the goal is good. Lauren Butler, with the first tally of the game, gives the Ore Diggers a 1-0 lead. And SPU, who really has dominated this game so far in time of possession, they just had a bit of a slip up there on defense, and Laura Butler was able to take advantage of it, showing off the speed there, sprinting straight down the field and coming through with a goal at the 32-minute mark to make it 1-0. And so SPU is going to have to try to recover from that one. One to nothing here in Seattle. The Ore Diggers just scoring on a Lauren Butler goal, streaking down the sideline. Exciting play there. And Laura Butler, that's her 3rd goal of the season out of Lane Tech College Prep in Chicago, Illinois. As Sophie Beadle was looking for teammates there, going towards the opponent's goal. Nothing to be found. And we're going to have a whistle here on the field. Looks like offside is going to be called here on the Ore Diggers. Laura Butler trying to slip out again there and get another quick goal. Currently 2nd in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference in assists is Butler, only a sophomore. As Sophie Beadle is sprinting down the right wing, she kicks it towards teammates in the middle. Galehouse is able to kick it back out towards Snedeker, who hits one way over the goal, way over the top crossbar. Really the first time we've seen SPU with a good shot on goal so far in this game. They've had all kinds of opportunities on the Ore Diggers side. But the first time we've seen them put together a good shot on goal. So still 1-0. We're talking more about Laura Butler. Last year, 21 games played, she only had 1 goal. So far, with 3 goals on the season, she has definitely one-upped herself. So nice defense there from Sophie Beadle, forcing the bad kick there from Laura Kligman. She was the RMAC Offensive Player of the Week this last week. So she is someone who's red hot right now. The Orediggers slowly inching up here over the sideline. Kligman throws it in. Reese McDermott, probably the best overall player on this Orediggers team, kicks it towards Butler, and then Butler kicks it towards the goal box, and then Mercedes Cullen, the phenom goalie, able to bring it in. 1-0 here. SBU already behind the 8 ball. Just a bad defensive lapse there by SBU, letting Laura Butler get behind the defense. The Orediggers trying to reconvene their offense here. Laura Butler has been at the center of everything. That kick out there was intended for Elliot Edwards. Marissa Banky with the ball. Banky, the kick to Snedeker. Banky has it again. They give to Galehouse. Galehouse probing. Gives it back to Snedeker. She's got to beat someone, and she's unable to. Interception there by Ruby. Ruby, she's going to get the ball back. And then a bad kick there, way to the left of her teammate Corbett. School of Mines still keeps possession, though, as Nyon with fantastic defense there to give the Falcons the ball again. Lauren Forster running down the sideline. Forster getting the lion's share of starts so far in this year. She gives to Nyon, sprinting down the left wing. Looking for teammates. This is exactly what SPU wants to do. The kick towards the goal, towards Beadle, and Beadle, with her first opportunity of a goal in the game, ultimately misses it to the right. And so SPU still dominating that time of possession. Just has to get something going here and really come through with a big opportunity. 28-23 it reads here on the Inner Bay clock. Normally in soccer, the clock counts up, something that separates soccer from most other sports played here in the United States, but not here at Inner Bay Stadium. In Inner Bay Stadium, the clock counts down from 45 minutes for both the first half and the second half. A lot easier on a clock keeper, I would imagine, to have the clock count down. And that was always something about soccer that really just, like, puzzled me, the clock counting up. I mean, it makes sense with the history of the game. SPU trying to play some defense here, keep the Orediggers from scoring another goal. Jacqueline Blakely running down the middle of the field. Nice interception there from Kaler. And the Orediggers will reestablish possession. Emma Moore with a beautiful header. Ultimately, though, intercepted by School of Mines. And right now, Laura Butler, just an absolute ball of energy. She is all over the place. Speaking of a ball of energy, there, Maya Parman coming in, trying to annoy the Orediggers offense. The Orediggers looking for a big road win here against a tough opponent. Beadle, the kick up to Blakely, back to Snedeker. Snedeker looking for someone. Beadle, she's right there. 3 defenders in front of her. But Sophie Beadle, she's fast. She's not scared of anyone. And ultimately, Laura Kligman doing the right thing there, kicking the ball out of bounds. 1-0 here. 26:45 it reads on the clock. It's been a bit of a smoky day here in Seattle. You could smell smoke all throughout the city as the day went on. As Banky kicks it up towards teammates right next to the goal, and there's all kinds of chaos there. And Jacqueline Blakely trying to kick it in, and what a defensive stop from Colorado School of Mines. SPU must have had 4 offensive players right in front of the goal, and they could not find a way to kick it in. Just a beautiful setup there from Marissa Banky. Had 4 teammates right in front of the goal and were not able to kick it in. And so the Orediggers will consider themselves lucky on that one. A blown opportunity there for SPU, as SPU tries to regain possession. So the Orediggers, that defense, well, to steal a very corny line, they have bent, but they have not broke so far. Really finding a way to conjure up some magic on defense, as that was flashy right there. Looked like a backflip inbounds pass from Landry Corbett. I've never seen that before. She did a front flip, and then she made the inbounds pass. I guess just trying to show off her acrobatic acumen. I mean, I will say that if I had that kind of acrobatic acumen, I would want to show it off as well. Just a very interesting time to do it, you know, here in the first half. I don't know if she's trying to get in the head of any Falcons defender. I mean, that would get in my head, and she just did it again. I don't know if it's like some sort of slingshot. She's using medieval physics. But either way, right now, Landry Corbett is putting on quite the acrobatic show out there. 24-27 on the clock. 1-0 here in favor of School of Mines, as Colorado School of Mines is going to have to dig up the ball out of that patch of dead grass behind the SPU goal. I want to see if she does it again here. Is Landry... Oh, it's a corner kick. Never mind. Corner kick from Landry Corbett. No front flip. The kick towards the goal as the ball goes out to Ava Harmon, and Ava Harmon kicks it over the goal, and so SPU with a defensive stop there. Still 1-0. Mercedes Cullen is going to initiate the offense here. I wanted to finish what I was talking about with Laura Butler. From Chicago, the only member of the School of Mines team from the Midwest. There are actually 2 members of this Ordigger squad from Sweden, interestingly enough. Is Nyon running down the left sideline, looking for teammates. Gives it to Snedker. Snedker back out to Emmy Moore. Moore over to Banky on the right sideline. Back to Moore. Moore trying to make her defender miss there, and Reese McDermott to give the Blakely. Blakely back out to Nyon. Nyon to give to Forster. Forster looking for any sort of a seam, and she might have had it there with Galehouse, but some beautiful defense played there by Jordan Barnhart, able to snuff out that little hole that was becoming very apparent there for the Falcons. Almost at the halfway mark here in the first half. SPU slowly inching the ball towards the goal here on a series of inbound passes. Nyon has it to give to Snedker. Snedker, the pass to Parman. Parman out to Banky. Banky back to Beadle. Sophie Beadle, really just the Energizer Bunny on this team, on the right wing, looking for any sort of a seam. She's doing everything she can to try and fake out number 24 there, Laura Kligman. She kicks it towards the goal. It's a little too high there for the possibility of a header from Jacqueline Blakely. So Nyon with the ball, kicks it towards Galehouse and Blakely. Right now this Ordigger's defense trying to hold on once again. Laura Butler with it, gives it right back to Beadle. Beadle on the right wing with 2 defenders in front of her, trying to do something. It looks like she was pushed down there by Kligman. No foul called. That's the second time we've seen Beadle go down to the ground with no foul called. This SPU fan base quite frustrated with that. Banky kicks it towards Galehouse. Galehouse trying to make anything happen in a slew of defenders. And it looks like Galehouse is pleading her case, trying to say that that was off of an Ordigger's defender. And it looks like that's exactly the way it will be ruled. So the Falcons will get a corner kick here. Marissa Banky will do the honors. I wonder what a front-flipped corner kick would look like. That's my question. Of course, referencing the front-flip pass-ins from Landry Corbett. The kick to Galehouse heel. Galehouse kicks it towards the goal, and then a header from Blakely. That flies way high into the air. And so another missed opportunity there for SPU to try and get something going. Still 1-0 here. SPU currently winning the shot battle with 5 shots to School of Mines 2. As Sophie Beadle unable to retrieve that one as it goes over the end line. Now 6 shots for SPU. My ticker just updated. 3 corners for SPU. This is going to be the 4th. But at the end of the day, it's kind of the weird thing about sports and the weird thing about soccer. You can have a team look like they're dominating the entire game, but if they cannot take advantage of the opportunities to score, they can still find a way to lose. And right now, SBU finds themselves down 1-0. Marissa Benke kicks it up towards teammates, and Blakely is going to take one off the head, and it's going to go out of bounds. So another very long possession there for the Falcons, but nothing coming of it. Again, this is a team that wants to slow you down, a team that wants to dominate time of possession, and that's something, you know, it wears down the opposing team, but also it can make it harder to have those really, really snappy and fast scoring splurges when you're kind of working more methodically. Definitely more of a disadvantage when you're down in a game than when you're up in a game. As Lauren Snedeker, it looks like she just got possession back for SBU. Some beautiful defense there. The Orediggers still backed up. Forster receives the inbound. Out to Nyone. Kick out to Moore. Moore past the midline over to Benke on the right side. The give to Beadle. Beadle facing two defenders. The give to Galehouse. Back to Benke. Benke trying to make something happen. Give back to Snedeker. Snedeker out to Moore. Moore, there's SPU. They're just going to regroup here. Aiken with the ball. Aiken over to Nyone on the left side. SPU trying to finally get a goal. Trying to finally break the dam, if you will. 18:48 here, remaining in the first half. One of the interesting things about Interbay Stadium, it actually sits right underneath a golf course. The Interbay Golf Course. I've heard it's a pretty decent golf course, actually. Maya Parman with the ball on the left wing. Looking for teammates. The give to Nyone. Nyone over to Snedeker. Snedeker dribbling towards the center of the field. The give to Benke. Benke with Butler in front of her. Finds Galehouse. Galehouse with the ball. Trying to make something happen. A series of very nice fakes. And Galehouse, she made two defenders miss, and she's still going. A beast mode Marshawn Lynch type of soccer play there. And it looks like they're going to call a foul on Galehouse. Chloe Galehouse would not be denied there. And she made two defenders miss. Was able to get past a third. So Chloe Galehouse doing her best beast mode impression there, and that's fitting here in Seattle, I would think. Inbounds there for the Orediggers. Galehouse with the ball. Give to Blakely, and Galehouse is tripped up there by Pennington. Nyone trying to get possession back for SBU, and she will. Blakely with the ball, looking for any sort of action towards the goal, and she is quite perturbed there. I think she thought that was a foul. Forster on the left wing. Dribbles it towards the penalty box. She's got two defenders in front of her. Some nice defense there from the Orediggers. Snedeker with a header. The give to Blakely. SPU just continuing to dominate time of possession, but just unable to break the dam and get a goal. They have dominated almost every statistical category so far, except for the only one that matters, and that's the score. Just under the 17-minute mark here to go at Interbay Stadium in the first half. A packed crowd here in Seattle, all hoping to see their Falcons pull away with a win. A team that has been highly advertised, a team that made it to the Final 8 last year in the NCAA Division II Women's Soccer Tournament, and expecting more this year despite losing 8 starters. Kick in there for the Orediggers from Katie Kaler. Brooke Pennington sprinting down the middle of the field to give to Butler. She's already got 1 goal in this game, but there looks like an interception from Benke. Benke slow to get up, but she's okay. Sophie Beadle pausing possession there for a little bit, trying to get everyone set. Emmy Moore, the ball right on the penalty box line, right underneath an apartment complex that is just right behind the SPU Falcons goal. I mean, I guess that's free soccer if you live in that apartment complex. It's kind of like the Wrigley rooftops in Wrigley Field. Chloe Galehouse dribbling down the center of the field. She finds some space there. Lauren Forster getting the ball, and almost a nice save there from the Orediggers, but now there's no one in goal. And just another wild sequence there for the Falcons, but still no goals on the board. Emma Karstens, she was yards away from the goal there. There was absolutely no defense there for Lauren Forster, but ultimately just a fantastic rebound from the Ore Diggers, not allowing a goal there and allowing the game to be 1-1. Nyon with the ball. They give to Snedeker. Back out to Banky, and back out to Moore. The SPU offense will reset. Aiken with the ball. Emmy Moore, she's a transfer on this SPU team. I was talking to her about being on the SPU program. She says she appreciates it a lot more because of where she came from, seeing how other programs operate, really appreciates the way that this coaching staff cares about the entire person, not just the soccer player. And that's something that RB Busey really does prioritize, making sure you're not just a good soccer player, but a good student, a good member of the community. And that's something a lot of these soccer players really do appreciate. Emmy Moore actually transferred from one of RB Busey's old gigs. She transferred from the University of Idaho. RB Busey coached at the University of Idaho from 2002 to 2004, of course, well before Emmy Moore was on the Vandals squad. And this is an era in college sports where you see a lot of movement all across the college landscape. The NIL that has been established in NCAA has really allowed for these players to not only make money off their name and likeness, but some of the different transfer rules that have to do with COVID and have to do with the NIL have really allowed these players to move around as much as they want. But these two squads, made up of a lot of homegrown talent. Emmy Moore, the only transfer on the SPU team. AJ DePinto now into the game for the Falcons. DePinto, a senior for this SPU squad. Out of Grant High School in Portland, Oregon. Last year played 18 games for the Falcons. Had no goals. Did have 3 assists though. If she were not playing soccer, she would want to play basketball. And then she lists off, and this must have been written a couple years ago, but she lists off on her little SPU page on the women's soccer website that her favorite athlete is CJ McCollum of the Portland Trailblazers. Of course, McCollum now on the Pelicans. DePinto being right in the action immediately as she gives it to Blakely. Blakely looking for any sort of a seam, and a couple of deflections there by the Ore Diggers defense. And that's going to go over the end line out of bounds. So SPU, they'll get another corner kick here. 7 so far for the Falcons in today's game. And that's exactly what the Falcons want to do. They want to kick the ball in from the wings, give their offensive players opportunities right in front of the goal. Marissa Banky will do the honors here on the corner kick. Here it comes. That one goes well past the goal, and it's going to be kicked over the crossbar there. So still 1-0 in this game. Looks like Jacqueline Blakely was the one who just kicked it over the crossbar. Sun beginning to set here in Seattle. The only good thing about smoke in the air is it does produce some very brilliant synthetic sunsets. I heard the moon was yellow earlier today. Meg Zimmerman down the right wing, trying to find teammates in front of the goal to no avail. Snedeker gets it, and she's able to kick it back out to her teammate, Kayla Wallace. Wallace into the game. Over on the left sideline. Give to Blakely. Blakely looking for anybody. They give to Galehouse. Galehouse kicks it towards the right sideline to Banky. Banky over to DePinto. Back to Galehouse. DePinto in a foot race right now with Ava Harmon down the right sideline. Harmon gets it and kicks it over to Jordan Barnhart. It's ball in no man's land right now as Emmy Moore fighting for it there. And Emmy Moore is going to be the one who makes the interception. Emmy Moore, the give to DePinto. DePinto back to Banky. Banky trying to find Blakely down the field, but to no avail. Some tough defense there from Blakely as she knocks down Jordan Barnhart, trying to make the clear out. So Aiken now with the ball to give to Nyone. Nyone to Wallace, back to Nyone, back to Aiken, and all the way back to Mercedes Cullen. Mercedes Cullen has been one of the stars on this SPU team so far this year. The freshman goalkeeper winning GNAC Defender of the Week honors. Currently fifth in saves in the GNAC with 11. Tied for first in shutouts in the GNAC with 2. Out of Spokane, Washington, Meade High School. Spokane, a place that produces a lot of SPU Falcons. You see a lot of times people from Eastern Washington coming over to Western Washington, going over to the big city in Seattle. Marissa Benke, she's going to throw this one in. We'll see if she does a front flip. I doubt she will. Seems for those who are wondering why I'm referencing front flips, is we're going to get a slew of substitutions here for the Falcons. Ali Wienheisen, she comes in. Tony Miranda also into the game, as well as Callie Rayon. She's also in the game, number 24, and she's got the ball. The kick out to Wallace, and that one's going to go wildly out towards the left sideline. Wallace. Clear out there, and Tony Miranda is going to go get it. Tony Miranda, a senior on the squad. One of the leaders on this team. Talked to her before the season started. She said she was very, very excited to be a captain on the SPU squad, to be a leader on the SPU squad, excuse me, as a senior. Said she's been waiting for this a long time. Of course, there was a lot of fifth-year seniors on the team last year for SPU with the COVID eligibility. That's why they lost so many seniors, because of that extra year of COVID eligibility. 10 lettermen lost for the SPU Falcons, including 8 starters. And normally when you lose 8 starters like that, you'd expect a program to take a step back, kind of into a rebuilding portion, but that's not at all what this SPU team expects out of themselves this year. RB Busey, as well as a slew of players, telling me that what they've lost in athleticism, they've really, really gained in camaraderie and understanding of the system. This is a team that they changed up their strategy a little bit, losing some of the talent they did, focusing a lot more on simple passes, time of possession, less on trying to make big athletic plays. And RB Busey believes that that can allow this team to be just as good, if not better, than last year's team. Kayla Wallace with the ball. Give up to Rayon. Out to the left, Chloe Galehouse trying to make a slide tackle play there. Rayon with the ball. It goes off of an Orediggers defender, and after all kinds of chaos, it's still going to be SPU ball. Mahaffrey there almost had an opportunity to kick it into the goal. She's going to get the corner kick here. SPU currently with 9 shots. The Orediggers, they haven't had a shot in it seems like 30 minutes, yet they're still up 1-0. Colorado School of Mines trying to steal one here. Mahaffrey, the kick towards the goal. Emmy Moore, unable to get to it. So Galehouse is gonna get the ball. Trying to find anyone. Tony Miranda, that ball is a mile in the air. And some sort of foul has been called. Looks like it's gonna be called on SPU. Chloe Galehouse not in agreement on that call. Chloe Galehouse, look, this is a team in SPU. It's hard to really pick out one star. They really are a collection of very, very good, cohesive parts. But if there was a star, it would probably be Chloe Galehouse, the senior, already with 2 goals on the season. Out of East Valley High School in Spokane, Washington. Last year, she was second team all GNAC. And one thing I do appreciate about Chloe Galehouse, you don't see this a lot, especially on the West Coast. Her favorite sport to watch is baseball, which is also my favorite sport to watch. Colorado School of Mines streaking down the field. Nelson with the ball. She kicks it towards the goal, and that one is going to roll in for another score here for the Orediggers. 2-0 Colorado School of Mines. The small collection of fans here for the Ore Diggers making their presence felt. And in a game that the Falcons really have had full control over, it feels like. They're down 2-0. SPU definitely going to be kicking themselves going into the half for some missed opportunities. And now, well, the road ahead of them is quite dicey, as they say. Down 2-0. Tony Miranda with the ball, and she just flat out completely misses her teammate there. And Veenhuizen. So a bad turnover there from Miranda. You can tell this SPU squad a little bit rattled. It was a big night for them. A packed house here at Interbay Stadium. Not something that usually happens for SPU. It is happening tonight. And so far, the Falcons just really haven't risen to the opportunity. Down 2-0. But what a comeback it would be if they find a way to win this one. Tony Miranda fighting with a bunch of Ore Diggers defenders. She kicks it out of bounds. It's going to be Ore Diggers' ball. And give this Ore Diggers squad a lot of credit coming into a game where they were facing a full, sold-out crowd of Falcon fanatics. And they have found a way to maintain their energy, and not only maintain their energy, but come out and take a 2-0 lead. As Mercedes Cullen fields that one. This SPU crowd trying to get any energy going right now. It feels like right now when you're hosting a bunch of people for dinner and you overcook the spaghetti. That's how it feels, you know? Like, all kinds of fans here at this game looking for an SPU win, and so far, 2-0. Obviously, still the opportunity to salvage this one. I mean, even if you overcook the spaghetti, you can still order really good pizza and save the night, you know, and that's exactly what SPU is trying to do. The Ore Diggers with another opportunity. Carolyn Seideback. She gives it in, and then a turnover there as Chloe Galehouse has the ball. Looking for DePinto. It's going to be Veenhuizen. DePinto dribbling it down the right sideline. Give to Wallace, and Wallace is going to kick it over to an Ore Diggers defender, and Ava Harmon. And then the goalie for the Ore Diggers, Emma Karstens, is going to kick that one out of bounds. So Veenhuizen, the give to Galehouse. Galehouse looking for a seam, and nice little fake there. She broke Brooks Pennington's ankles. And then another smart play there from Emma Karstens, getting that ball out of bounds. Less than 3 minutes to go here in the first half. There's usually no extra time in Women's Division II soccer, so it's really 90 minutes. You get 90 minutes to do whatever you can do. As Veenhuizen kicks that one towards the goal. Turnover there. Going to be kicked out of bounds by Michelle Easley. Veenhuizen throws that one in towards DePinto. DePinto with the header. Ultimately heads it towards a Mines defender. DePinto throws that one into Veenhuizen. Right now, Veenhuizen and DePinto with a bit of a back and forth going. The kick over to Galehouse. Galehouse looking for a seam on the wing. She's been so shifty here today. That one kicked towards the goal, and a missed opportunity there for Callie Rayum. As that one's kicked out of bounds. Less than 2 minutes to go here. SPU trying to respond before the half. A game they have dominated in almost every single facet. Yet they are down 2-0. They've had 9 shots to only 3 shots for the Ore Diggers. 6 corners for SPU, only 1 corner for the Ore Diggers. But at the end of the day, all that matters is that score up there on the scoreboard. That's a long kick. The speedy Amanda Nelson tracking it down. Ultimately some good defense there from Aiken. Wow. Nelson just shooting down the field there like a stroke of lightning. So the Ore Diggers, they'll get a corner kick here, another opportunity to try and improve upon this lead. Excuse me, Amina Nelson from Rockland High School in Rockland, California. And no wonder she's so fast. First team All-RMAC in the 4x400 relay in 2022. She was also the RMAC champion as part of that 4x400 meter relay. Lots of speed for Nelson. There's another dangerous possession there for the Falcons. The Ore Diggers had another opportunity to score. We're less than a minute to go here in the first half. Unless SPU can get something quickly here, they're going to be down 2-0 going into the locker room. Colin, the kick out to Aiken. Aiken out to Blakely, back to Cullen. Out of bounds. Right now, if you're the Ore Diggers, you're just trying to get into the locker room with the advantage you already have. Miranda with the ball. 20 seconds to go. A kick to Mahaffrey. And that one's going to roll down the left sideline, and that will probably be the end of the half. I wouldn't imagine that the Ore Diggers will do too much here, and it looks like they're just going to let this one wind down. They'll throw it in just because, or kicks and giggles, as they say. And that right there is the end of the first half here at Inter Bay Stadium. So the SPU Falcons, they just got punched in the jaw there by the Colorado School of Mine Ore Diggers. They are down 2-0. We're going to step away here for the half, and then we'll be right back with you a little bit before second half play commences, and then we'll have the rest of the second half for you here on the Seattle Pacific University TV network. back, folks, to Inter Bay Stadium, almost ready for the second half between the Seattle Pacific Falcons and the Colorado School of Mines or Diggers. The sun has almost reached its full setting point here in Seattle. You still see a bit of an orange hue over the trees, over the beautiful neighborhood of Magnolia, just to the south of Inter Bay Stadium. Well, the theme for the Seattle Pacific University women's soccer team after that first half is missed opportunities. This is really a game that Seattle Pacific University should be winning. 9 shots so far. Seattle Pacific has had only 3 for the Oredigers. The Oredigers just made the most of their shots, scoring with 2 goals in that first half. And the way that the Oredigers were able to do it is with speed. Really just 2 very, very different philosophies about how to play soccer being shown here in this game. Seattle Pacific University really trying to play a methodical style of game, and that was really giving them the edge in time of possession. To give the Oredigers credit, they have had some very, very beautiful offensive reach outs. They've gotten past the SPU defense, and 2 of the fastest players on their team, Laura Butler and then Amina Nelson, who is one of the fastest 400-meter runners in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. She showed off that speed as well earlier today, getting her second goal of the season and making it 2-0. Jacqueline Blakely, how many opportunities has she had? 3 shots so far in this game. Has obviously not scored a goal yet, being that SPU is down 2-0. But we'll see if the Falcons can find a way to rebound here as the second half gets going. The Seattle Pacific Falcons, they used 17 players in that first half of play. You look at the other side, Colorado School of Mines using 16 players, 18 players in that first half of play on their side. We saw a very, very entertaining game of musical chairs at halftime here at Inter Bay Stadium. I have to say, it was very, very cutthroat. About 8 freshmen went out there and competed in a very, very intense game of musical chairs. It included a guy actually tackling one of the women freshmen who was trying to get a chair in the game. So the theme, what I'm trying to say here, is that in musical chairs, chivalry might actually be dead. 2-0 here as we enter the second half at Inter Bay Stadium. The Falcons, can't imagine what kind of an emotional pep talk they had in the locker room. They are trying to show out here for a sold-out crowd at Inter Bay Stadium, full of new Falcon students, full of RAs, full of just regular old Joe Schmoes like me, sophomore, juniors, and seniors, trying to see something incredible out of this SPU women's team that has been advertised to be one of the best in the nation coming into this year. All right, we're underway here for some second half soccer. Brooke Pennington, the kick out to Seideback. The kick over to Amanda Lilly into the game for the Oredigers. SPU able to get possession here. Lauren Forster running down the sideline, chasing down Seideback. Seideback with the ball, kicks it towards the SPU goal. Back there is Emmy Moore. He's played the full game so far for the Falcons. Falcons with Forster, Blakely, Galehouse, Miranda, Banky, Harmon, Snedeker, Moore, and Aiken on the field right now. For School of Mines, Kaler, Seideback, Pennington, Barnhart, Tyrell, Butler, and then Putnam on the field for them, not including the goalkeepers. Putnam running down the field. The give to Butler. Butler on the left wing, looking for any sort of an opportunity. Defended well there by Banky, and then trips up Banky down towards the end line. Some hard-nosed soccer being played. And soccer, a very, very cutthroat game out there. These players battling for every single inch. Cullen. The kick over. SPU trying to get something going here, trying to get over the midline. Galehouse with the ball. Galehouse trying to make something happen. They give to Blakely. Blakely back out to Snedker. Over to Nyon. Nyon. Kick to Parman. Parman back to Snedker. Snedker. Give to Aiken. Aiken looking for any sort of a seam. Looked like she was trying to get one to Galehouse, but wasn't able to do it. SPU still maintaining that solid time of possession. Banky. Give to Miranda. Miranda to Snedker. Snedker looking for a seam. Not really finding one so far. We'll give to Galehouse. Galehouse will kick it up. Forster trying to make something happen. Now Sophie Beadle out there trying to chase it down. And SPU is going to have to go back and reset. But it looks like Aiken and Banky collided, and that allowed for a bit of a slip out there from Reese McDermott. Reese McDermott, one of the stars of this Ore Diggers squad. Out of St. Thomas's Episcopal High School in Houston, Texas, has 5 goals already on the year. That's fantastic considering that they only played 4 games as a squad. Second in the RMAC in shots, second in the RMAC in goals, second in the RMAC in shots on goal, has a 3-game goal scoring streak. Hasn't scored yet today, but I'm sure she's happy with the way things have gone. Her team up 2-0 here in the second half in hostile territory. Emmy Moore trying to make something happen. Diggers trying to battle for possession here. They really haven't had many prolonged possessions in this game. They're 2 goals, both scored slip outs by 2 of their faster players, Nelson and Butler. About 4 minutes in here to the second half at Interbay Stadium. Tyrell is going to initiate things here. It smells like popcorn in the press box, and it is a salivating smell. Zordic is trying to get something towards the goal. SPU cannot afford for another goal to be scored. Nyon down on the sideline looking for something going. Trying to find Forrester, and Forrester's tripped up, and it'll be SPU possession. Quite a production they put on here at Interbay Stadium today. All freshmen and RAs got to eat for free. And meals set up outside of the stadium, so come to a soccer game, get a free meal. Actually, most of the SPU students did what was called a march to the match. They actually walked down Dravis Street from Seattle Pacific University up the very, very steep hill that leads you to Interbay. And down Dravis Street to the stadium. We're going to probably have to walk back to SPU as well, unless someone brought a car. Blakely in the seat. Kick towards the goal, no good. What a save there from Hines as the Ore Diggers defense continuing to bend, but not break. Another great opportunity for SPU. Nyon with the ball. They give it to Snedeker. Snedeker trying to find Blakely on the right wing. No avail. Banky's going to be able to track it down. Banky is going to kick it right to an Ore Diggers defender in Laura Butler, and Butler will clear it out. Emma Karstens, the goalkeeper there for the Ore Diggers, with a beautiful save. It just feels like this SPU offense should have 3 or 4 goals in this game. Lots of blown opportunities. So Mia Mahaffrey, she's going to check in here for the Falcons. Nyon will initiate things. They give to Beadle. Beadle back out to Nyon. Nyon looking for a seam. He's able to kick it by an Ore Diggers defender there. The Ore Diggers. Butler is off and running. Off and running down the left sideline, trying to find a teammate. It's going to be given right back to SPU. Emmy Moore, defensive stalwart for the Falcons so far today. Give to Banky. Banky to Galehouse. Galehouse looking for a seam. Can't seem to find one. Give back out to Beadle. To Galehouse. Banky with it. And SPU is going to have to reset things here as Cullen, the goalkeeper, will get things going again. 38 minutes it reads on the game clock here. 7 minutes into the second half here at Interbay Stadium. The lights are on here. Interbay Stadium actually was home to Ballard FC this summer, United States Soccer League 2 representative. Supposedly there's some pretty electric crowds out here. Ballard FC named in honor of the neighborhood here in Seattle. Ballard, a very soccer-crazed neighborhood. The Old-Diggers stepping on the knees from up to beautiful series of moves there from Caitlin Manilli. Able to find a teammate there close to the goal. Marissa Banky, Manilli with the ball again. Trying to find teammates. They give to McDermott. McDermott, beautiful save there from Mercedes Muller. Dives to her left, able to field the ball. That is a much-needed save for the Falcons. They cannot afford to give up any more scoring to this Oredigger squad. Nina with the ball. SPU trying to initiate things here. Give to Snedeker. Emmy Moore. Transfer out of the University of Idaho, played for the team last year. What a team it was last year. Trying to... Look, if SPU loses this game, that'll be as many regular season losses as the team had all of last year. SPU's biggest competition. It's most definitely Western Washington in our GNAC conference, both those teams. Lots of expectations. Forster. He's got the ball. Looking for teammates. Dribbling down the center of the field. The kick to Blakely. Blakely with an open space. The kick towards the goal. No good. A couple of feet to the right of the goal there, and SPU running out of opportunities in this one. School of Mines initiate things here. Karstens. The long kick. And it's going to be up in the air here. All kinds of chaos occurring. There's Manilli with the ball. What a spark plug Manilli has been so far for School of Mines late in this game. Give to Putnam. Putnam looking for teammates. Almost a nice interception there from Beadle. Nyone tracking down the ball, and she's going to be tripped up there. That's going to be a foul on Laura Butler, and so SPU with a free kick. The "you can't do that" chants now filling up the SPU crowd. You know, I think those chants hold a lot more water than also the "you can do that." I feel like there's a lot more great chants come up with. Still 2-0. A little more than 10 minutes into the game. Snedeker with the ball. That's Mahaffrey on the left sideline. Mahaffrey kicks it towards the goal. Blakely trying to track it down. Some good defense there from the Orediggers. Jordan Barnhart able to kick it out of bounds. So just as it seems like it's been the entire game, the Falcons, once again, they're going to have another corner kick. They're going to have another opportunity to score here. Very close to the Orediggers' goal. See if they can come through. It was not a corner kick, excuse me. Mahaffrey with the ball. Kicks it towards the goal. And that's going to be cleared out once again. Colorado School of defense. So it looks like someone in the crowd has a souvenir, but unlike baseball, in soccer, you got to get it back. Laura Forster. So she's probing with the Falcons love a goal from Forster. There's a nice little turnaround kick there from Chloe Galehouse. Fortunately for her, Karstens, she was aware, she was ready, able to field that one. 2-0 match here at Interbay Stadium. About 12 minutes here into the second half. Emmy Moore running down the sideline. Goes out of bounds, just running down there there with Reese McDermott. Mahaffrey throws into Forster. Forster didn't get anything going there. Mahaffrey will get the ball back. Smetker out to Nyon. Nyon into Beadle. Beadle looking for something to give to Galehouse. Galehouse running down the right sideline. Whoa, that was a negative. I've never seen one. Went through the defender's legs to give to Beadle. Beadle trying to find a teammate near the goal and is unable to. Nyon will get the deflection out. Kick to Galehouse. Nyon with the ball. And just a bad pass there. Banky. Now the Orediggers on their way. Got a couple of people running down the field. A kick towards the goal. Nice stop there from Cullen. Reese McDermott almost made this game 3-0. This SPU crowd trying to find anything to get excited about right now. Trying to give some pump-up juice to their fellow Falcons. They stood up and cheered for that one. It's now fully night here in Seattle. This stadium is just really beautifully located right on the base of Magnolia Hill. All kinds of bougie houses up there on Magnolia Hill. Lots of tech money. Lots of tech money in this city. It looks like they're going to call some sort of violation here on SPU. Like I said, the Beadle picked up the ball prematurely. I don't know, someone was arguing about something. Arby Busey was over there arguing about something. I was talking to Sophie Beadle and Lauren Forster before the game, and they told me that Coach Busey is usually very, very mild-mannered. Usually someone who gives very technical explanations of things, doesn't usually yell, but he has his moments, as every coach does, where he's very, very passionate. Sports fan anymore. Kick out to Banky. Banky trying to find any sort of a seam, is unable to. Nice deflection there from the Orediggers. More. Banky with the ball. Banky kicks it down the right sideline to Parman. Parman's unable to handle it. Sophie Beadle trying to cause all sorts of chaos. And ultimately that chaos is going to work because Smetker's going to get the ball, kick it to Mahaffrey. His body's falling all over the place. They're going to call that a foul on Mahaffrey. And so 15 minutes into this second half, foul there in SPU. Still 2-0 Orediggers. So there's two players on the Orediggers who are from Sweden. Carolyn Seideback, who we've seen so far in this game, she is from Sweden. She's actually one of the better players on this Colorado Sportline squad. And then Kayla Thomas is from right-back Sweden. So I thought I would look at the best things that have ever come out of Sweden. We'll go to that after we see this possession here from the Falcons. Beadle dribbling down the right wing. She's tripped up. No foul called. So Sophie Beadle trying to make something happen there, but to no avail. So what are the best things that have come out of Sweden? According to ConcretePlayground.com, Kanken backpacks, I've seen all kinds of those. Saunas. Did you know that saunas came from Sweden? Absolutely fascinating. I suppose you need a sauna in Sweden when it's so cold all the time. Makes sense that they made that. Weekday denim. Now, I've never worn weekday denim. I don't know what the difference is between weekday denim and regular denim. But apparently that's from Sweden. Some good ciders from Sweden. Little Dragon, the band is from Sweden. The Way Out West Festival. Restaurant Tusen, and at some ski resort. I would imagine there's a lot of great ski resorts out in Sweden. Kind of make it more relevant to the game. Let's give you the best women's soccer players from Sweden. Caroline Sager, from my favorite women's soccer team, Olympic Lyonnais Feminine. Kasover Aslani from AC Milan Women. Magdalena Eriksson, she plays for Chelsea FC Women. Sophia Jacobson, the Sweden women's national soccer team. Tough collision there on the right sideline. Sophie Beadle tracks it down. And that will go out of bounds. SPU will maintain possession. So the Sweden pipeline is very strong in Golden, Colorado. I've been to Golden, Colorado, where the School of Mines is. It's a beautiful city. In the summer, you can get a raft and go down the lake. Excuse me, the creek, I shouldn't call it a lake. It's absolutely beautiful. Sophie Beadle on the right wing kicks it towards the goal. That's going to go over everybody. Harmon chases it down. Maffrey throws it in to Forster. Forster, the gift of Harmon. Harmon trying to make someone miss, and Forster was not where Harmon thought she was going to be. She tried to kick it past some Ordigger's defenders, and Forster was not there to receive the ball. Maffrey back in to Forster. Forster. And nice defense there from the Ordiggers. So still 2-0 here. A smoky night here at SPU. Arvin Busey, the head coach of the Falcons, said that he really has liked the way his team has played so far through all 3 games, but there's just some little things that he would like to see change. As Emmy Moore kicked out to Forster. Forster looking for a seam. Trying to find a teammate. She's not going to find any as the Ordiggers are going to regain possession here, and they're going to go down the field. Ultimately, that's going to be kicked out of bounds, and SPU will get the ball back. He likes the way they've been stringing together passes, but he wants that to actually get even better. And then he thinks there has been some defensive mishaps here and there. And we've seen it so far today. He said this works before. Long possessions can make it hard to transition defensively, and that's what we've seen so far today. We've seen some very rough transitions on defense for this SPU squad. They've allowed a couple of slip outs, and that's been the 2 goals so far. School of Mines really using their speed to their advantage. Laura Butler and Amina Nelson. Amina Nelson, she's a nationally acclaimed 400-meter runner. They just let her sprint right down the sideline and ultimately get a goal. How acclaimed is Amina Nelson in track? Well, let me tell you. First team All-RMAC in the 4x400 meter relay. She was the RMAC champion as part of the 4x400 meter relay. She claims RMAC gold in the 4x400 meter relay. Thanks to the 2nd fastest time in program history. How about that? 33rd in the nation as an NCAA provincial qualifying time. So she has speed to say the least. Also played basketball in high school. Team soccer MVP for her high school in 2015. So Amina Nelson, the goal here today, showing off those speedy legs, showing off some of her soccer acumen. Marissa Banky trying to chase things down. Good sportsmanship there. Gets McDermott off the ground. Love to see that. 20 minutes in to this second half. The Ordiggers trying to improve a 2-0 lead. In the game of soccer, 2-0. That's like being down 28-0 in football. That's very, very hard to come back from. SPU running out of time here. They've had all kinds of chances, all kinds of opportunities. They've doubled the amount of shots that the Orediggers have in this game. They have 12 to the Orediggers 6. So have not been able to get one into the goal. Because of those opportunities, though, you can't say that SPU is completely out of this one yet. They can just find a way to come through on a couple of those. They're right back in this one. That was well, Paula Ruby just kicked one. It looked like it was being aimed towards the Space Needle. It was kicked very, very high over the goal. So still 2-0. That'll be considered a shot. So now 7 shots for the Orediggers so far in this game. Mercedes Cullen trying to initiate things. The give to Emmy Moore. Probing, looking for anything. The give to Banky. Banky trying to find space. Give to Nyam. Nyam, the kick to Galehouse. Galehouse, that one goes off of her. And so that'll be Orediggers' ball. This time of year here in Seattle, you can start to feel the season start to change. A bit of a cool breeze coming into Interbay Stadium. This fall is right around the corner. And with fall comes rain here in the Emerald City. I have to say, before the smoky day today, I think that the last 4 days have really been some of the most beautiful weather days that I have seen anywhere. It has been absolutely fantastic. I went on a couple runs around Green Lake. Just serene, just to put it in a word. Emmy Moore with the ball. Kick out to Banky. Banky running down the right sideline. Trying to find any sort of an opening. Galehouse. A slew of Orediggers defenders. That one's going to be kicked out there by Jordan Barnhart. Forster with the ball. Trying to find any sort of seam. She's tripped up a little bit there, but that's not going to stop her. She kicks it up to Moira McKay. McKay to Snedker. McKay, a freshman. She's entered into the ball game. Give to Beadle. Beadle trying to find any sort of space. Back out to Nyam. Nyam to give back to Beadle, and that one's just going to go by Beadle. Beadle trying to track that one down. She just absolutely dominates Paula Ruby there. Sophie Beadle. Not someone you want to get into a collision with. He's about as strong and as athletic as anyone on the field. The kick up to McKay. McKay, the kick out to Galehouse. Galehouse on the right wing, trying to make something happen. Nothing will happen because that one goes out of bounds. SP will maintain possession. We're just over halfway done here in the second half at Interbay Stadium. Interbay Stadium, that'll, interestingly enough, as I mentioned earlier in the game, hosts the National Championship Tournament later in the year. Part of the NCAA Division II Festival. One of the more special parts of being a Division II athlete is that every 3 years, I believe it is, all the fall sports have a giant festival where they're all played in the same city. Opportunity there for the Falcons. To no avail. As Caleb Wallace was almost able to kick that one in. So now that's 13 shots for the Falcons. Very excited to be here in Seattle for that festival. Get to check things out. I'm assuming they're going to be playing the football games at the University of Washington. As Banky kicks that one towards the goal, but it looks like it was just a little too far there for Moira McKay. Out of Burlington, Washington, went to Burlington Edison High School, a 5'9" freshman. In 2021 had 2 goals. High school. There's Emmy Moore looking for a seam. Kick up to Forster. Forster in front of a slew of defenders. Trying to find Galehouse. Galehouse has got the ball. She's one-on-one. Trying to find McKay, but McKay was just a little too early there. Pass was a little too late there from Galehouse. So now the Ore Diggers are going to clear, and they're doing exactly what they were doing in the first half. Reese McDermott sprinting down the field. They're trying to use their speed to their advantage. Good defense there from SPU. You know, we've talked about how acclaimed this SPU program is, but the Colorado School of Mines program is extremely solid, coached by Kevin Fikes. This is his 13th season as head coach and his 23rd overall at the Colorado School of Mines. He's a 5-time Region Coach of the Year and 3-time Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference Coach of the Year. He's the all-time leader of wins. He's got a 191, 35, and 32 record, which is just absolutely fantastic. His .802 winning percentage ranks 3rd among all active coaches in NCAA Division II. He's 119, 17, and 12 in conference play, and 12, 6, and 8 in the NCAA tournament. Just absolutely fantastic for Fikes. His best season came in 2016. According to the Colorado School of Mines website, that was undebatably the best year in program history. They set the record for wins at 20. They advanced to the Elite 8, which is where the Falcons just advanced last year, and they won the South Central Region title. They were 23-1 that year. So the Ore Digger program, not quite as storied as this Falcons program, but still with their fair share of success. This is a Falcons team that won a national championship in 2008. They already have broken that seal. Trying to win a second one with this group of incredible women, but they're down 2-0 here in front of a home crowd. Kayla Walsh with the ball. She's looking for teammates. Tries to find Forrester on the right wing. She will. Forrester looking to make something happen. That one's going to be kicked out of bounds. So some good defense there from the Ore Diggers. We're going to see a substitution here. Galehouse being subbed out. Looks like we're going to see another freshman come into the game. Excuse me, it's sophomore, Riley Pierce. Riley Pierce from Portland, Oregon to Cleveland High School. I suppose if Cleveland High School found a way to win a state championship, that you could say that Cleveland won a championship. I'm trying to make some sort of a reference here to the fact that the city of Cleveland, they didn't win a championship from 1954 until 2016. So maybe the school of Cleveland High School has more championships combined than the entire city of Cleveland. Now that right there, folks, is something to think about. 17:20 left in the game. Nayo. She's going to throw this one in. Talking about the golf course. It's over the stadium here. Supposedly a very nice golf course. I have some friends that work there. But it's funny because actually one of my friends texted me before the game was started. He was telling me, he was asking me if I had any power over the music, because apparently when there's a soccer game here at Interbay Stadium, they start blasting music. It starts to interfere with some of the golfers. You know, I've always thought the idea that golfers need to be completely quiet, isn't that a bit of overkill? Like, you really just can't hit the ball when there's like a little bit of noise. I feel like it's a little pretentious. They always have to have it dead quiet all the time. I mean, come on, man. I mean, every other sport, there's at least someone talking or someone cheering. I don't know, I digress. Still 2-0 here. 16:20 left in the game. Banky with the ball. She kicks it down the right side to McKay. McKay, the freshman, trying to make something happen. She ends up backpedaling to Nayon. Nayon to give to Forster. Forster trying to find Parman, but that's going to be a long clearance there from the Ore Diggers. Right now, if you're the Ore Diggers, I mean, it's not rocket science. You just got to waste as much time as possible. You know that the Falcons, they're going to be taking risks, trying to score some goals, being down 2-0. You have that insurance, being that you're up by 2 goals, not just 1. So if you're the Ore Diggers, I mean, I would feel like any time you get the ball on defense, just kick it as far as you can the other way. Forster trying to find the ball. Pierce with it, kicks it towards the goal, and that's going to go just behind the netting, towards the trees. The SPU faithful here thought they might have had one on that one. Thought they might have had a goal, but no avail. Almost 15 minutes left in this one. It's going to be hot tomorrow in Seattle. It's really nice if we get this game in now. It's supposed to be up to 90 degrees. It's hot for Seattle. The thing about people in Seattle is that anything over 85, they start complaining, and it's not all their fault. I mean, come on. There's no air conditioning in most of the buildings. It is funny when it's like 85 degrees and everyone's like, oh, there's ice cream. I'm going to go get ice cream. I'm going to go find somewhere to cool down. Most places in the country, that's a cakewalk in the summer. Diggers have possession. Nelson, who scored a goal earlier in the game, with the ball. She's tripped up there by Moore. Not happy to be called for a foul there. Emmy Moore playing hard-nosed soccer out there. You can tell she plays with a chip on her shoulder every single time she's out there. Talked about the success of the School of Mines program. I mean, even though this is an SPU broadcast, I feel like we have to talk about the success RB Busey has had in his career. He's been a fantastic head coach for this SPU team. Talked about it earlier. From 2002 to 2004, he was the head coach for the University of Idaho. And then actually got to be an assistant as a alma mater, Villanova, in 2005. SPU trying to make something happen here. He's coached extensively in the club, ODP ranks. And he's had a successful stint here as the SPU head coach. He joined as an assistant in 2006. Became head coach after the 2008 season. And there haven't been any national championships in that time, but one thing you can count on from an RBUC coach team is that your team's going to be competitive. They're going to be competitive. They're going to work hard. And they're going to play really good soccer. I think I said that he started as head coach in 2008. That's my mistake. Started in 2014. He has been assistant since 2006. Give to Pierce. Pierce falling down. She kicks that one well to the right of the goal. RB Busey's record for his time here at SPU, 76, 33, and 10. And you can really tell that he's had a lot better time here at SPU than he did at the University of Idaho, because his overall record's 84, 73, and 17. He struggled a lot at the University of Idaho. If my math is correct, maybe he was 8 and 40 for the Vandals. Math being correct for me, though, is not a given. There's a reason I'm a journalism major. Sophie Beadle running down the right sideline, trying to get the ball. She's tripped up. Falls to the ground. The War Diggers just trying to waste time here as that ball bounces out of bounds. Less than 12 minutes to go here in this one. Still 2-0. Colorado School of Mines on top. Still a slew of fans here at Interbay Stadium, hoping to see a miracle here. We'll see if the Falcons can pull one out of the hat. There have been quite a few fans that have left, though. A lot more open bleacher seats here than there were at the beginning of the game. Everyone coated in maroon and gray, all kinds of SPU colors. Really is beautiful to see the SPU campus united like this. 11:15 left to go in the game. Pierce with the ball, trying to find anything. Right now, SPU, it just seems like they're walking in cement every time they're on offense. Having a hard time getting anything going. They were getting all kinds of opportunities early in the game, as we're unable to cash in on them. As Lauren Forrester comes back into the game for Pierce. So Forrester, a little bit of a breather there. She'll come back in here for the last stretch. Nyone finds Beadle. Beadle sprinting down the right sideline. The kick towards Forrester, and there's going to be a save there by Karstens, the goalkeeper for the War Diggers. SPU will regain possession here. We're almost at the 10-minute mark remaining. what's important for this SPU community is to not let the excitement die for these women. Look, you're gonna it looks like they're not going to be able to pull this one out, barring a miracle, but it's still a team that should be in that conversation as one of the top 10 to 20 teams in the nation for the rest of the season. And, you know, I feel like just as important as that, this is going to be a team that's going to be in the conversation to win another conference championship this year. You know, you have all kinds of goals as a college program on a national level, but really the most immediate goal that you can have as a college team is to win that conference. Those are the teams you're playing most of the year. Those are the teams you play every year. That's where all the rivalries are. That's where all the recruiting rivalries are. To be able to win that conference really is a huge accomplishment. And this is an SPU women's team. They'll be right up there with Western Washington projected-wise to try to win that conference all year long. So if you're the SPU community, why not get super excited? Why not get super excited about this women's team? It's going to be competing at a high level all year long. Have a few more of these Fridays where this crowd is absolutely packed. These women deserve it. They deserve to be playing in front of sold-out crowds every single game. Nelson leaks out, trying to find her second goal of the game. Nelson with some good defense there from Banky. Able to knock it out. Nelson came up today with one goal on the season. She already doubled that today. She can get find another goal. That put her at 3 on the season and 2 on the day. Just to build on my point, I think that we saw how SPU sports can really be at the center of the Seattle sports community earlier in the summer. So for Ballard FC, we saw 2 SPU facilities being used, in the case of the crossover, being used by some of the top athletes, not only in the game of basketball, but in the world. LeBron James, Jason Tatum, DeJounte Murray. And then we saw here at Interbay, Ballard FC, a semi-pro professional team, really just getting the community excited about what they were doing. So why can't SPU do the same thing? I mean, you have some great teams here. One of them is the women's soccer team. I personally believe the best team out of all the teams here at SPU. I mean, yeah, the men's basketball team always is very competitive. The women's basketball team always plays really hard. The rowing team's always really good. They're always really good on the national level as well. If there was one team that could really compete with this women's soccer team for the best team on the SPU campus, it would 100% be women's rowing. They've had a couple of years where they've gotten close to winning a national championship over there. And so I'm just I think my soapbox here, my unending soapbox, there's a lot of unending soapbox here, but my unending soapbox here is just that the SPU community should get really, really excited about watching this women's soccer team play all season, watching some of their other teams play all season. There's some great athletes here at SPU. And it's just a great way to unite a campus that kind of feels a little divided right now. That's the great thing about sports. It can really unite groups of people, bring them together to really either enjoy a soccer game, enjoy a basketball game. I really want to go to a rowing meet. I haven't been to one yet. Sounds absolutely fantastic. As the acrobatic show continues here for Colorado School of Mines, Landry Corbett, still doing that front flip when she throws the ball. I'm still wondering if that gives her any sort of a tactical advantage, or if that's just her showing out. I can't imagine a coach teaching you how to do that. If it works, it works. Carrying side of back, she's going to throw this one in. Less than 7 minutes to go here in this game. Both teams playing to the final buzzer. Two to nothing, Ore Diggers. Barring an incredible comeback here, it looks like the Ore Diggers, they'll advance to 3-1-1. The Falcons will fall to 2-1-1. See how that affects the national rankings going into next week. This Ore Diggers team is a team just on the outside looking in of the top 25. Whereas the Falcons, they were ranked number 17 coming into this game. And if you're the Ore Diggers, talk about 3 very impressive performances back-to-back-to-back. A draw against Westminster, and then losing to Dallas Baptist 3-2 in the waning minutes, and then coming into Interbay, into Seattle, packed crowd, and beating the Falcons Again, barring an incredible comeback, could still happen. Forster. Give to Galehouse. Galehouse past the midline. Looked like she was trying to find Beadle there on the right sideline. 5:30 to go here. And referee will field that one. And that one will go out of bounds. League play will begin for both of these teams very, very shortly. Of course, that's what really matters in the long-range scheme of things. Coach Busey, I mean, he was telling me early before the game that really what non-conference means to him, obviously there's the implications that you can get a better seed at the end of the year depending on who you beat or who you play in your non-conference. For him, it's just really a great chance to kind of get a measuring stick for his women. An opportunity for them to play really, really tough teams from other conferences, and if you win, great. If you lose, then there's just all kinds of different things to work on. He really doesn't see the downside in playing really, really tough teams to start the season. Because even if you lose, it's going to prepare you better for your conference schedule, having to play such tough competition at the start. And look, there's tough people, there's tough teams in both of these teams' conferences, but I think you'd be hard-pressed to really find clearly better teams in either conference. So that's why you play each other like this in the non-conference. This SPU crowd still trying to get something going. Like I said, the wrong opponent that School of Mines played. I think I said Westminster was their penultimate game before playing Dallas Baptist University. They actually tied with Angelo State, who was ranked number 25 in the nation at the time. Drew that game 2-2. Streaking down the field of the Falcons, kick towards the goal. All kinds of chaos happening. Snedeker trying to get the ball, and the Oilers are going to clear out. Nayo unable to field that one. Nelson's going to get it, and she's going to kick it down the field. So the Falcons with another opportunity there to try to put one on the board, but to no avail. After this game, well, it looks like the Oilers are making a tour of Western Washington. They're going to Western Washington in Bellingham on Sunday. Facing another really, really tough opponent. Talk about a tough schedule. Angelo State, Dallas Baptist, Seattle Pacific, and then Western Washington. Just a tough string of games there. Less than 2:30 to go here at Interbay Stadium. 2-0 War Diggers. Falcons, after this one, they actually will begin GNAC play. They'll get a bunch of time off. Then on Thursday, 6 days from today, they're going to be in Billings, Montana, playing Montana State. It's a good time to get that trip out of the way. Get that trip out of the way in September, so you don't have to go to Billings in colder weather. We're under 2 minutes here. The War Diggers just trying to run out the clock. After playing Montana State, the Falcons will go to Nampa, Idaho, another good place to be in September and not later in the year. And then they'll come back home on September 22nd to play Western Washington. That'll be a Thursday. Look, I mean, it's going to be hard to top the crowd you get for a Falcon Fest, but I'd hope that Interbay Stadium is full of Falcon supporters, not only on September 22nd, but on September 24th when they play St. Martin's and the rest of the year. This is a women's team that, despite losing tonight, like I've been saying, like I've been hammering throughout the broadcast, they're going to be box office. They're going to be exciting to watch. And that ball goes up into the trees. Almost 1 minute to go here in Seattle. Disappointing loss here for the Falcons. They're going to have to brush this one off. They're going to have enough time to brush this one off. As I mentioned, 6 days until they have to play again. The War Diggers are going to try and take this momentum into Bellingham. kick this one away. And man, sprinting down the field. Gotta love the effort still. And the Falcons, despite being down 2-0 with less than 30 seconds to go. Calling the kick to Nayo. Nayo kicks that one over the midfield line. So Forster unable to field that one. Nelson's is going to kick this one past the end line. We'll see if they just let the clock run. They will. And so Colorado School of Mines, what a win for them. They come into Seattle, come into Inter Bay Stadium in front of a packed crowd full of Falcon supporters, and they win this one 2-0. They go to 3-1-1 on the season. The Falcons, well, they just weren't able to come through in big opportunities. They finished the game with 17 shots to the Orediggers 8. Not able to score anything in the game. They fall to 2-1-1. They're going to have to brush this one off before they go into conference play. But don't count these women out just yet. They're still a team that is coming off an Elite 8 appearance this last year in the NCAA Division II Women's Soccer Tournament. And if there's one thing to know about RBUC, he knows how to bounce back from losses like this. Final score here from Inter Bay Stadium. The Colorado School of Mines Orediggers, they win this one 2-0 as the SPU Falcons fall. Thank you so much for tuning in here on the SPU TV network. I am Kyle Morrison. Thank you for listening to me spiel for about 90 minutes. And we're going to have another broadcast for you on September 22nd as the Falcons host Western Oregon. Thank you again for tuning in, and I bid you all a fantastic rest of your evening.